Ladies and gentlemen, from AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, USA. Live on Dazn, we are set to go to the special lightweight attraction. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, Air Force Reserve, Tecate, Bet Online, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Orange Crush, and Value. Introducing your three judges scoring this contest from ringside: Robert Chapa, David Iokaruchi, and Anthony Moss. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, referee Ruben Perez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing with his head trainer, Ricardo Mijares. He wears the white with red and green trim. He scaled an even 138 pounds bang on. His professional record, 6 wins, 4 defeats. He has 1 win coming by way of knockout. Presentando de Gómez Palacio, Durango, Mexico. Damas y caballeros, José Antonio Meza. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands with his head trainer, Tyler Trask. He wears it in the navy blue and silver. This southpaw also scaled at a ready and even 138 pounds. His young professional record thus far perfect: 2 fights, 2 victories, and both of them came by way of knockout. Here is the highly skilled amateur sensation and the fast rising prospect fighting out of Norfolk, Virginia, the businessman, Keyshawn Davis.
Chance to hear from Ruben Perez, the referee.
A good, clean fight. And protect at all times.
The flashy lightweight that hails from Norfolk, Virginia, though now resides just 3.5 hours down the road. Keyshawn Davis taking on his opponent, Jose Antonio Meza. Our third fight of the Before the Bell card, ready to get underway. Let's see the flashy brilliance of the young American. Such a standout as an amateur. He seemed a lock for the Olympics, but said the professional ranks wait. And boy, has he been stellar, producing 2 knockout wins in as many fights. Davis, Meza, gloves up. They're punched in, and we're underway in Arlington, Texas.
Keyshawn Davis fighting a very tall, long, lightweight. In Meza, was 5'11", 74-inch reach, you said from the top, but I wouldn't be that worried. Someone with the amateur experience, international experience like Davis has, he's definitely fought guys who are tall, guys who are long. This is nothing new for him.
Yeah, and looking at the matchup, I mean, and talking with people, hanging around the hotel, everybody, sort of looking at this saying, wow, I mean, this is a walk in the park for Davis for all intents and purposes. Meza, as we mentioned, 6-4 in his career. He doesn't also strike me, Keyshawn, as the type of fighter who mentally checks out and allows himself to look past opponents.
Again, with all that international amateur experience, I mean, he's been to the top, he's been there, he's been in high-profile fights against very talented fighters. This is nothing new to him. But, that being said, every fight's a fight, which we learned when his older brother fought earlier tonight and ended up getting dropped in the 4th round.
Yeah, Kelvin Davis did improve to 2-0 in the opening fight of the night, but did get stung just in the final of 4 rounds. Had his bell rung, and that'll leave a lasting mark, but he does remain perfect, as do the Davis brothers as pros. As Keyshawn trying to make it 5-0 between the two brothers. And remember, there's Keon, also a third Davis brother. That's part of the moniker of DB3 that they go by, the branding for the Davis brothers. So far, they have been untouched in the loss column as pros.
Davis doing a good job of making the ring small, coming forward, using his jab, not having a lot of ability to connect just yet, but using it more as a rangefinder at this point, trying to establish who's going to be in control in this opening stanza. Beautiful job, jabbing to the body, rolling out from Davis there.
Still wearing the pride of Norfolk. Used to be the Norfolk 3 before the DB3 for the Davis brothers, but it's been the move for Davis to Texas that he really feels he's established himself as the workhorse, where he's found his focus and his ability to really fine-tune what he already feels is a pretty solid skill set. Living in Houston, Texas, training there, said he had to get out of Norfolk, just had to break away, be his own man, and he's finding that now it's starting to really produce some quality skills, as if he didn't have them already.
I like to see that in young fighters, taking that sacrifice, moving away from home, getting out of your hometown, getting away from everything that's comfortable, and finding yourself someplace else.
Some of the reach of Meza, just trying to find a way through the defense of Davis. Glancing blow at best, as Davis really been able to order. The left hand got in there quickly. Meza stunned just a bit. And Davis, here's the bell ring, and he does a little dance. What is this? Is this river dance? Davis feeling good about his opening round as Meza stung.
A little slow in the beginning, having some trouble making contact, but that's how you close a round.
Now the southpaw was able to find that way in the corner before Antonio Meza. Ricardo Mijares saying, you got to bob and weave. You have got to not allow yourself to be a sitting target. That left hand sneaking in.
Yeah, it was a hard jab with a straight right hand over the top, too. That had Meza in a world of trouble. Right at the end of the bell. Man, those legs were all over the place. Good hard jab, followed by the two right behind it.
More of a slip there, or was that wobble in the legs just to get there?
It looked like a wobble in the legs.
Yeah. I initially thought maybe he just found a little bit of an edge of the shoe and slipped, but it definitely looked as if his legs wanted to come out from under him. Good job by Meza just to maintain his composure to get through to the bell as round 2 underway.
Yeah, let's see if those legs are recovered from that knockdown. Good chopping overhand right there from Davis.
A lot of crouching from Meza as well. He's got that big frame just sort of bent over, so he's putting a lot of additional pressure and weight. Feeling weight of the right hand of Davis. Meza on the head again.
You see Davis, that first round, took him about 2.5 minutes to find the range. Now that he's found it, he can't miss with the right hand.
Well, we wondered if there was any sense of complacency from Davis, and already through these opening seconds of round 2 and what we saw in the first round, there is none. He is business, living up to his moniker, businessman, taking it to Meza.
And this is what I like about Davis. He's so calm, so controlled, such a measured pace. That's why I said even in his opening fight, he looked like a true professional. Doing a great job of closing the distance, walking the taller man down. Nice jab to the heart there. George Foreman's favorite punch from back in the day.
They're really starting to set his beads. The targets have been set there. The right hand coming through, missing Meza, just barely able to get out of the way. But he has been the hunted, as Davis has been all over him.
Little smirk as the referee broke them up there from Davis, knowing that he's in complete control at this point. This is what I meant about smart pressure. I don't think I've seen Davis get hit with a single shot yet. Has been closing the distance on the taller man, able to land his shots and get out deftly without taking any damage whatsoever.
Yeah, just no duress for Davis. I mean, nothing in the sense of pressure for him. He's almost as a position. He's just staking there, hands just ready and poised. No defense needed because he's so elusive for Meza.
Oh, he's having fun in there. He's got his rhythm. He's got his timing. He knows he's got it. He's had his man hurt. He's got a full 6 rounds tonight to make it happen.
Right. Davis a little frustrated by the grappling effort from Meza.
For those at home, look at the beautiful feints from Davis. A feint is kind of like a head fake in basketball. Do a little bit of shoulder movement, little leg movement. Get your opponent to have that first reaction so you can counter.
And we were there for his debut fight. It was just the day before his 22nd birthday. Keyshawn Davis was able to come in and produce his first victory. Did it via knockout in Miami, getting the better of Lester Brown. A second round of 4 scheduled rounds.
Oh, good overhand right there from Davis. Counter perfectly timed.
His second victory coming in Dubai over Richmond Ashley in April of this year to maintain that 2-0 perfect record.
You know, I know not a lot of people are giving Meza any credit, but I did see this as a step-up fight. You know, you've got a guy with 10 pro fights under his belt. He's never been stopped. So for Davis to look the way he's looking, and if he does get the stoppage, I think that's a statement from his point.
Yeah, as far as the preparation that comes for Keyshawn and his crew, I mean, he's got Keon, his brother, in his corner, along with Tyler Trask, his trainer, and Bobby Benton, his cut man. But the book on Davis thus far, is he a studious fighter? Does he go out and really try to get the goods on his opponents? Would he have known all about Meza and his ability to be durable, if you will?
It's hard to tell at this point. I don't know if he did his homework or he's just that effective at figuring out the timing and the range. Like I said, when you have so much amateur experience, you've seen so many different looks at the highest level. It's second nature. Where you land shots like that, counter overhand right, just timed perfectly. Some of that stuff you just can't teach. You got to feel it.
Pepeo, the nickname that Jose Antonio Meza goes by. I tried to find a translation, spoke to a lot of people who are fluent in Spanish. They said they couldn't really find one, but it had something to do with like being a kid who likes to eat, and you wonder if it is sort of a moniker that he uses to try to motivate himself. I eat up opponents left and right. Well, he's only 6-4 as a professional, so he hasn't exactly been feasting a gluttonous performance over the course of his career yet, and he's been on the short end thus far through 2 rounds against Keyshawn Davis. But here's Meza once again. As we mentioned, his stamina is unquestioned. Never been stopped in his 10 professional fights previously against what was considered, Chris, I mean, it was, if you talked about a lock at the Olympics to be in Tokyo, Keyshawn Davis was at the forefront of that, but it just wasn't to be.
Hey, it wasn't to be, and now he's here, and he's got already the start of a breakout professional career. Like you said, if it wasn't meant to be, it is what it is, and here we are.
And no looking back. And listening to an interview just a couple of weeks ago from Keyshawn Davis, and he talked about it, he said, you know what, I just felt the time was right. And you have to listen to yourself. The intuition to know that as much as the Olympics would have been a goal for any boxer, to be able to stand out, represent your country, maybe walk away with some shiny hardware, he said, I just knew inside that my skill set would translate to the pros. And boy, so far, it's shown that he was making the right decision.
We just saw a nice 1-2 there from Keyshawn Davis. I love the way that he puts the right hand right behind the jab, really hides it. Very difficult to defend against. Meza just strikes me as a guy who just does not know how to use his height and his reach. He's got his legs so far apart. It takes away his reach, takes away his power, and that's why Keyshawn is able to walk right in the front door, walk him down, and land those right hands.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a disparity already through this fight, aren't we, in boxing IQ? You're seeing Davis, who came in really with a preparation and an idea, whereas Meza seems a reactive fighter who just doesn't quite know exactly what alterations to make.
Yeah, I think that would be an understatement. There's a difference in boxing IQ and pedigree here.
Well, he just likes to hang in, and who knows?
He
wants to give himself a shot, but he's got to be careful because Davis is starting to deliver some stings. And they're starting to leave some marks.
Yeah, Davis is slowing down on the output a little bit, keeping up with that body pressure, but you can tell he's looking to land that one big shot. Good feint there again.
Let's break down some of the skill set of Keyshawn Davis and his strengths. So, we talked a lot today and looking forward to the Canelo Saunders fight about jabs and things like that. How do you rate the jab, first of all?
So far, it's been phenomenal. He's used it as a great range finder. He's been out-jabbing the taller man, out-jabbing the longer man, and he's found himself in the position to land the right hand, which is exactly what you want the jab to do.
Meza just feeling as if the assault is non-stop, that it is just constantly a bit of bullying from Davis already through these opening rounds, and Meza heads back to his corner, just sort of a quizzical look on his face. What do I got to do? Everything's coming quick, it's coming hard, and it's coming all from Davis through 3 rounds. What about the motivation in watching Kelvin? We know the brothers are tight, and let's not forget Keon, who's been in the corner now for both of these fights, for Kelvin and now Keyshawn. The motivation to perform in front of each other and to use what Kelvin was able to do to inspire Keyshawn.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They're in the gym together. They've been in the household together. So, there is that motivation. There is that drive. I'm sure they push each other quite a bit. But it's very much like the guys you're in the gym with. A lot of times it's kind of like they're your family. They're your brothers. So, it's not that unfamiliar for a lot of fighters.
Sure. This time, though, it's blood. And you got 2 extra family members to be in there. Another look at how things transpired in the 3rd round is Keyshawn Davis in full control. And again, we wondered if he'd live up to his moniker businessman. He has been business perfect.
Love his hand position, too. Even when Meza does muster up some shots, he lets him go. They're always caught on the glove or rolling the shoulder from Davis, showing a great mix of offense and defense together. I would like to see a little bit more pressure and combination punching from Davis. I think that he could probably get Meza out of there if he lets his hands go a little bit here.
We know Davis is hungry for ring time. He talks about the fact that he wants to fight, and he wants to fight often. We know Canelo, who we'll see as the final match of this day, the main event. He likes to fight. He's fighting so often. Keyshawn wants to fight 8 or 10 times a year.
Good. That's what you want from a young fighter. I mean, as a pro, you want to learn on the job. I had 0 amateur fights. I had to learn as a pro. I fought 5 times my first year, 5 times my second year. So being busy is really important. It's something that can be really difficult to do.
Is it a matter of getting just experience being in the ring, or is it trying to ascend to those positions to start to vie for titles early? I mean, he wants to get there quick. He's not looking to bide his time over years. He wants to progress in months. Yeah,
I mean, it depends. I mean, he's obviously already got the skill set, but getting that pro experience, taking that headgear off, putting on those smaller gloves, dealing with, hurting your hand or getting clipped or, hurting your jaw or getting knocked down, things like that, that you haven't experienced in the pro ranks. That's how you get that out of the way in the way to a world title shot. Ooh, good body shot there. Straight right hand to the body. Had Meza thinking twice.
Of course, an outstanding amateur, capped off by the fact a silver medalist at the 2019 Pan American Games and additionally at the World Championships that year. Talked about that step from outstanding amateurs. Doesn't always translate to being a terrific pro, but the sky seems to be the limit for Keyshawn. But what are we looking at in the areas that there definitely have to be improvements? Are you seeing something that has to be worked on significantly to be able to elevate him?
I alluded to earlier, just the combination punching. I like to see young guys letting their hands go, putting pressure on, really looking to force the stoppage, get the knockout. I think when you've got total control of a guy and he can't hurt you, that you should really look to finish the fight. My coach, Andre Brazier, likes to say, we don't get paid for overtime. That being said, Keyshawn knows that this is a 6-round fight. He still has 2 more full rounds in order to get the job done.
Backing down Meza is just constantly the hunter. He has been pushing the Mexican around and just leading him.
I think Keyshawn heard me.
Yeah, he
pins his man on the ropes, lets his hands go, throws body shots. Okay,
we're not paid for OT.
I got nothing. I got nothing to complain about anymore.
Yeah. Meza trying to fight back, but there's a strong right hand from Davis just towards the tail end of this 4th round. He's starting to employ it. And a late shot got in there, right on the nose.
Good stuff there to finish the round. Round number 4, looking very, very sharp as Keyshawn Davis. Picking up the pressure
assertive.
round by round.
Yeah, adding it up, just building up that momentum and that head of steam. And so far through 4 rounds, it has been all Davis.
Yeah, all Davis. I have him up 4 rounds to nothing, plus the extra point for round number 1 with the knockdown.
So just one more fight to come on our Before the Bell card, and we will see them coming to the ring momentarily at the conclusion of this. It'll be Mark Castro, the United States, taking on Irving Macias Castillo. And of course, we know that Davis and Castro have a history, most of it amicable, friendly amongst each other, although they did square off a few times as amateurs.
I think I did read that it's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
They fought 3 times in the amateurs. Mark Castro actually won all 3 of the bouts. But they're both open to the idea that there could be a 4th match in the pros down the line.
Round number 5 finds its way to its beginning. And we'll see if Davis can build upon that flourish that he finished in round 4, where he really took control, was the asserter. Just walking Meza back.
Looked like a nice little body shot there from Meza on the inside.
Yeah, on his amateur rivalry with Castro, he's quoted saying the rivalry was great. There would be 3 rings going on at Nationals, but if me and Mark were fighting, all of the attention would be on us. And as you mentioned, yeah, they have talked. Have been whispers. They're not opposed to the idea of them getting back into the ring and taking each other on. But right now it seems to be sort of a mutual admiration society and being able to push each other now that they've gone from amateurs and pros together. both with respective 2-0 records as pros.
Sharp shots there for Keyshawn.
Yeah, Keyshawn just working, wheeling and dealing effectively.
A little uppercut there from Meza, caught Keyshawn. See Keyshawn banging his gloves together, which usually means that was a good shot.
Yeah. Good for you, but fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. Well, then, you know what? But it seemed, here's now Keyshawn getting back to the entertainer. He's got great stamina and good foot speed. Let's break, well, as evidenced by the...
Yeah, he doesn't waste a lot of energy. You know, he stays very composed. He doesn't overthrow himself, doesn't like to expose himself too much. Doesn't extend his gas tank, although it does seem like he's in phenomenal shape as well. But yeah, since that uppercut landed, it seems like Keyshawn has been on the bicycle a little bit, using his lateral movement, looking to counter.
First little chance for Meza to establish that he's still got that stamina that we have been expanding on throughout. Never stopped in his 10 professional fights. He's trying to find a way now to back down Davis, employ a little aggressive tactic of his own.
Yeah, one thing I saw from watching the tapes of Meza, he is a tough guy. You know, I saw him take a lot of punishment along the ropes in some of his fights, stayed throughout, has yet to be stopped, but always fought back and threw hard punches.
He's got that spindly frame, those thin levers that just sort of find through. They found their way through a couple of times just to graze Davis on the cheek and wake Keyshawn up.
Power's a funny thing. A lot of the hardest punchers in boxing history have been tall, long, lanky guys. Think, like the Thomas Hitman Hearns. Long, spindly legs, but big power.
Oh, that left hand was powerful. Abrasive.
But this is what I saw from Meza from the tapes I saw. He'll get caught on the ropes, he'll get hit with big shots, but he stays upright.
Davis thought he had a bit of momentum starting to build there where Meza was able to wrap him up and get out of trouble. And that's it. And Keyshawn Davis takes exception to Meza at the end of the 5th round. A little spirited glare back and forth between the two. But so far, Davis continues to hold sway and is 1 round away from improving to 3-0 as a professional. Continuing to progress through the night as the 4 bouts on the before the bell card that we're happy to be bringing you, and then later the 4 fights on the card that will ultimately lead to Canelo and Saunders in front of what now has been estimated already as the biggest boxing crowd in some time, but the biggest since the pandemic in sporting events. Not just 70,000, but Eddie Hearn was quoted as saying upwards of 73,000 fans expected here in AT&T Stadium. So the concluding round has come to pass now for Keyshawn Davis and Jose Antonio Meza. They can go no longer. The last 3 minutes of the fight to see who will emerge. Right now it has been all Davis, and I'm sure on points and rounds thus far, this is his fight to win unless Meza can come up with something miraculous.
Yeah, have him up 5 rounds to none with the extra point for round number 1. I'm curious to see if Keyshawn's going to go for the knockout here or if he's just going to look to stay perfect with a shutout to victory.
Going for some big shots already as Davis in those lightning quick hands. Not quite able to find the mark. Meza just being elusive enough. Looking to establish a little shot down towards the body to get those hands down from Meza. I think what you were alluding to just moments ago, Chris, I would think Davis he wants to keep a perfect 3-0 record, but he also wants to keep all of them done by knockouts.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we still got a little less than 2 minutes to go in this round. He softened Meza up quite a bit over these 5.5 rounds. Good body work there from Keyshawn Davis. That was a similar punch that his brother threw earlier today, moving along the ropes and then fired that rear hand. Keyshawn showing a good arsenal tonight. The good straight right hand, some good body work. The left hook thrown as a lead and in combination has been very effective, and the jab has been consistent throughout.
Yeah, and a lot of times you'd see a fight like this that Davis has put together, just the combinations and the style of fighting, but he's going up against a guy who just doesn't quit. I mean, he doesn't give you anything where he's going to back down or go down.
And I'd mentioned Meza has never been stopped. He's a tough guy. I've seen him in some tough fights where he made it to the end. So
ultimately, because of the fact he's had both previous fights finished via knockout, almost seemingly too easy, this is actually maybe something of a good benchmark for Davis to work through mentally as far as his progression.
Oh, absolutely. I have no problem with young fighters getting rounds in the bank. The pro ranks are different. You get hit with these shots and these little gloves and punches that maybe people on the side don't see, you feel. So it's good experience being there in those rounds and understand offense, defense, timing, rhythm, and all these things.
Ultimately, though, looking back upon this fight, Davis and his camp will undoubtedly be pleased. Maybe the knockout just wasn't meant to be, so he won't have his third of his professional career, but he's destined now to improve to an unblemished 3-0 as the fight is over. And Keyshawn Davis once again impresses, both with his flair and his showmanship, but straight up his boxing talent and skills coming to the forefront as he handles Jose Antonio Meza with relative ease. Of course, the decision has to be announced officially, but for the former standout as an amateur, his professional career continues to just rise and rise. And the Hermanos de Norfolk, Virginia, look to stay perfect. Kelvin Davis victorious earlier today, and his younger brother Keyshawn Davis on the precipice of 3-0. So the building blocks that have been so touted for Keyshawn Davis, Chris, coming out to the forefront again. Another just impressive day at the office.
Yeah, absolutely. Offense and defense mixed perfectly together. I like that. I got to see some combination punching, some pressure put on, great counter punching, good defense. Very good night for Keyshawn Davis.
And another impressive performance from Jose Antonio Meza, as he was thought to be just a minor impediment, but he lasted the full 6 rounds, stood in, at times giving almost as good as he was getting, but it was really never in doubt. So we will head to the ring for the official announcement for Keyshawn Davis.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action here at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, we go to the judges' score totals. All 3 judges scored this bout identically, 60-54. For your winner, he's still undefeated, the businessman, Keyshawn Davis.